All right, I think we're live. Quick sound test. Yep, looks good. Morning, everybody. Yeah, we're just gonna do a work stream today. Let me update the title. It is hot and muggy and just yucky where I'm at. It's 9 a.m. and it's like 80 plus degrees. Humidity, UV's off the charts. So I'm indoors. Um, I got the shades drawn, I got the work up, and I just want to chill out and get some things done. My cat doesn't want to chill out, so give me 1 second. She likes the blinds cracked so she can watch the birds. Let's see here. Building the perfect budgeting app with Claude. That's what we're doing. Cool. Oh, and we're on day 4. Happy day 4. All right. So it's also going to be very hazy today because I guess there's like wildfires in Canada. I don't know if anybody's going to tune in from Canada, but yeah, hopefully that gets sorted out. That's wild stuff. I know I've seen some wildfires. I used to live out in Colorado, so we would get wildfires and they were not pleasant. So hope that gets taken care of for you guys and everybody's doing good. So yeah, let's do a quick recap of what we're up to here. So, um, we did a lot of stuff from our to-do list for the app last stream. I mean, we knocked out a bunch of stuff. A lot of it was like little stuff, but there were some big ticket items there as well. And we have a couple other things that we're gonna do as well. The app is really coming along. I bumped up the version to 0.3 release, 0.3.0. And yeah, there's still definitely a ways to go before that 1.0 release, but the progress that we're making is phenomenal. And this is really starting to look like a polished product here. I do want to show off what we have for the website so far. And I'll also show you kind of my idea on how we're going to approach distributing the app. So here's the website. We might even work on the website a little bit today. I like where it's at, but there might be some tweaks that we make to the website to make it even better. But all things considered, I actually really like the website. So yeah, definitely check that out. Eventrine-app.com. We did change, the last time we changed this, it did say the 70% auto categorization. That's what we're aiming for, but Claude kind of put that in there preemptively because we haven't quite achieved that. I think we're at like 68%. We're not far off. But I just changed it so that it's not dishonest. I just put hundreds of transactions auto categorized, which is true. We have a dictionary full of hundreds of merchants, maybe even 1,000 at this point. And so for the foreseeable future, this is what it will say. But I'd really like to get that awesome number, 70%, 75%. We're going to keep working towards that. And the goal is to reach that number without doing direct integrations or calls to the internet or anything like that. It should just be like a local dictionary. What, of course, I'm trying to think through, though, is how we update that dictionary over time so that that number does not degrade as new merchants come online. I haven't thought about, or I have been thinking about that, but I haven't found a solution. for that. I haven't found a confident solution for that, but I have some ideas. So we'll definitely be working on that. And yeah, the pricing, I haven't worked out any pricing yet. The beta is free, so if you're watching this and if you think the app looks cool, if you just head to this website, I'll put the website in the description as well of the stream. 1 second. Yeah, if you just head to this website, you can download it for free, and just test it out and see if it's something that you like. You can provide feedback. What it's going to do is it's going to take you to. Right now, I'm using Gumroad as the distribution. I know a lot of people use Stripe, um, but I just already had a Gumroad account, and I don't mind Gumroad, so it's pretty decent. So, yep, you'll just be taken to here. This is the official Gumroad product thing. It's free again, so you can just name 0. And I like this because again, we are eventually going to paygate the full version. It's not going to be required that you have a subscription. I may add a subscription option. It'll probably just be like a support pack though. I mean, I'm not going to enforce a subscription. I can't enforce a subscription with how I'm developing the app to be completely offline, private and local and self-custodial. So there'll probably be like a supporter subscription option of some amount of month, if you just want to support the project or whatever. But the main thing that I will be drawing people to on the 1.0 release is just a flat fixed price for the app. So I don't know what that number is yet. I had some numbers in mind when I first launched, but I realized that was probably not wise to set that expectation because I don't know what the feature set for the app is going to look like in the final analysis, the final iteration. So we're just going to wait to see how it shapes up, see what it looks like, and then build a price, reverse engineer a price from the value that I think the app will provide. So that's how we're doing that. Yep, so that's the website. That is the merchant account, Gumroad. So far, I've had 15 views, which is cool, but no conversions. So we will just keep on keeping on. Again, we're not chasing like a particular dollar amount or anything like that. I'm not chasing like the Bugatti or anything. um, I just want to get some distribution out there, get some feedback, get some reviews in, to help shape the development, to figure out what people need. I know what I need. I started this project based on my own needs, but I know people have different needs. And so I want to incorporate that feedback to some extent. Obviously, I won't be able to make an app for everybody, but getting that feedback to help shape what I think other people will benefit from, and maybe something I could benefit from that I haven't even thought about, would be super cool. So with that being said, this is the website. We'll just click out of that for now. We're not going to work on the website. Yep, we bumped the version. Looks good. We're going to clear all of our context windows so we're not wasteful with tokens. We're going to start a new session of Claude. I'm just going to go back to I'll go into the Git tree. Make sure that we are synced so that we don't screw things up. Okay, glad I did that. We're not screwing things up. I love that. Take a sip of coffee. Okay. Cool. Shrink that. This is our website. This is our app. And I'm just going to take a look at the app. I like to just start by taking a look at the app, kind of going through the motions, and seeing what sticks out as something that I could improve, and also referencing my list here. So loading bar for transaction import would be nice. We did notice there's just a slight, like 1.5, maybe 2 second delay um, for extremely large file imports for like 10 years worth of data or more. So just making sure that those people have a good UI experience, even though they might be rare, is important. So let's just prompt for that. It's probably going to be a slightly heavier lift, and I don't want it to get screwed up, so I am going to use Fable for that. I am just on a pro plan, so it is the $20 a month plan. So far, it's been enough. All of our token efficiency stuff, and how we're going about our work cadence, we haven't really hit a limit yet. So that just goes to show you that something like the token optimizer skill that we wrote, uh, very small, short, and sweet, but it already makes a difference. Keeping a good claude.md file is important. But yeah, and if you expand that, if you just want to copy that, feel free to just copy that. I don't care. Yeah, token optimizer when working on coding tasks, never resend unchanged files, summarize files larger than 300 lines, compress logs into structured summaries, reason only over changed code regions, prefer diffs over full file rewrites, maintain a compressed project map, ignore generated files, lock files, and build artifacts unless explicitly requested. So far, this has been good. I don't think we've lost any valuable context that would cause hallucination. We did run into some like funny behaviors, but I think that was more or less the model itself. I think we were using Sonnet for that, and I don't know. I feel like Sonnet's not doing so great right now. Fable's working fantastically. Opus is mostly good. Could be a little hit or miss depending on the task. I really miss Sonnet 4.6, but I don't think we have access to that via this extension anymore because it keeps saying Sonnet 5 on both of these. So, bummer. Sonnet 4.6 was actually really good, in my opinion. I don't know. That was my experience. But we'll do Fable. We'll do Fable medium. That's all we need. And yeah, let me go ahead and yes, loading bar transaction import. So let's prompt for that. Let's see what we got. I noticed that larger file imports can take the app roughly a second or more to load, and in that hang time, there is no UI indicator that the app is quote unquote thinking or doing something. Let's add a loading bar modal that shows after the user initiates the file import. Or let's add a loading bar modal that shows while the app is taking in the import file and writing it to the database, because that's what we want. Less is more here, so make it pretty simple and straightforward, and make it match the design language of the rest of the app. And hold up, we're gonna pause that. Branch. I know vibe coders probably don't do branches. I am trying to do branches. So we're gonna do a feature, add loading bar to import. Okay. And away we go. So that's going to do some thinking. Whoops. Put that over to the side. There were some other things that I was thinking about that I wanted to add. I have to read these here. By categories into modal. Yes, that's a big one. We might get to that. We'll see how much usage this takes from Fable. It shouldn't hopefully be a whole lot, but we'll see. This is a minor one. I don't even know if I've been able to recreate it. I'll have to double check. Collapse categories. This one we're taking off. Why did it prompt me for this? I should have God mode on. Yeah. Well, that's not technically an edit, I guess. It's a directory change. Directory access. I'll have to fix that. But yeah, let's see here. Maybe custom. I like this one. We're gonna do this one. This one, okay, yeah, we can delete this one. We're not gonna do this one. So we are going to combine the category. Where is it? We're gonna try to combine this whole interface just straight into the statement feature. Sorry, it bugged out. That's Linux's fault. That's not the app's fault. It does that with all my Windows. But yeah, we're gonna try to bundle this into like a kebab menu. Either well, it's related to the cash flow. I don't know if it's gonna go into this or if we're gonna move this over to the tab or what. There are some UI decisions that we have to kind of mull over, but I think it'd just be way cleaner. I want to have as few buttons as possible. I want this to be as easy as possible for people because it's so important. Budgeting is so important. And I'm really passionate about financial literacy and getting people access to tools that don't make them broker. Paying $100 a year for finance tools is stupid in my opinion. I will never do it. I will never ask you to do it. So yeah. We'll have to figure out. We fixed this last time. This was the thing that like I forget what model we were using. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but yeah, it was like clipping over here. This is obviously a nav container, and this is like a body container for the app. It's like Electron, so it's like an element, like a div element. It's all managed through JavaScript and CSS. So it was clipping under here, and I asked it to fix it, and it came up with this really convoluted like JavaScript fix, and I was like, couldn't we have just done this with CSS? And it was like, you're so right. Yeah, I'll just do it in CSS. And I was like, oh God. Ugh. So yeah, that might have been Opus. I don't know. But when I was developing this at an earlier stage, I did notice that like Opus will just randomly deviate and start doing things. Fable doesn't really do that. Sonnet doesn't really do that. It seems to be an Opus thing. So I don't know, but still thinking. No worries there. Let me just double check my usage. We should be starting from a fresh. Yeah, we're starting fresh. Oh, and it's Thursday, so we got our Fable usage reset. That's awesome. Yeah, I really wish they would just not limit that and bundle it into the plan. I would get a max plan if it was like you're guaranteed to have access to Fable and your limits for Fable are basically just the same for the whole account. And it just, a disclaimer, just like they did with Sonnet, that might eat more tokens than the other models. But until then, I'm staying on Pro. Yeah, I was thinking about trying Codex, but I know I saw a lot of horror stories. Codex doing some weird shit. So I'm just gonna give that some time to develop. I'm not gonna be chasing frontier models. I've been happy with Claude. Um, no need to add risk, add unknowns when we're already making so much progress with the pro plan on a model that I've got a lot of experience with that I quote unquote trust. Not completely trust, but looking forward to when models are good enough to justify running them locally, because that's ultimately what I want. Let's see here. Yeah, I like the way this looks. I don't remember if I described the. I think I did actually. I described the new behavior, but yeah, when you import transactions, it'll automatically compute the cell for you based on what it sees in transactions. But if you don't like what's there, let's say, this is what it showed for transactions, but let's say July was hot as hell, which it is, and it was like $90. You can just type in $90, hit enter, and there you go. You have a manual override. There's also a button that will appear that'll give you a tooltip that'll say restore the computed value, and there'll be like a nice fade in. It's not like super instant. It's like a 200 millisecond delay or something, which I think looks really nice. So, and you can also delete the thing, and it's another way to do it. So keyboard users, like I said, I came from spreadsheets. I really wanted a spreadsheet-like experience. I didn't want all the complicated formulas and all that crap. But I did want to have some functionality for spreadsheet users who might come in and be like, yeah, I kept a balance sheet for the last so and so months or years. I'd really like to import that. If you have a spreadsheet, I can show you. Let me pull this up on. I'll just go here. One second. Okay, yeah, here is. It's taking a second. Here's a spreadsheet here. So if you were keeping a spreadsheet and you have some cells here, let's say 1, 2, 3, you know, right? You can copy these, and it will treat it like a spreadsheet copy. So you'll paste it, and there you go. It pastes it down for you. So yeah, if you've been keeping a spreadsheet in any capacity, there's a good chance that you can just copy and paste it like you would a spreadsheet. Now I do have multiple delete, but I don't have like taking one value and pasting it everywhere. It's not gonna like paste it down like a spreadsheet. It's just gonna put it in the exact position. So like for example, if you do this, it's gonna do that. But if there were things there and you paste it, it'll override it with the empty thing. So just behavior to look out for. I kind of like it working that way, but again, I haven't had any feedback on people using it, and if that's like optimal for them. So I kind of need that feedback at some point. I'm hoping to get that feedback soon. One thing that I'm noticing is that it does seem like it has to do a lot of research. Um, Before it implements things. And I'm wondering if it would be optimal if I implemented like into its memory, like the project structure with like nodes. Simply just by asking it, hey, just read the project structure, and instead of grepping the entire repo, if you're looking for something, just reference like your memory of the project structure. So I don't know if it's already doing that. I just noticed that it does do a lot of grepping. Yeah, maybe it needs to. I don't know. Just my. There we go. It did it off stream because I clicked off stream real quick. Or to my secondary monitor, but it looked good. It ran a test, so I'll show you what that looks like here shortly. It looks like it's almost done. It looked good. So Fable, again, just being the one-shot master. You could just, as long as you give it a really solid prompt, Fable's inference is freaking phenomenal. So let's see. Should be wrapping up shortly. Yeah, there you go. Look at that nice test. Looks great. Yep, it's the exact design language that we use for our other modals. I do like that it's just looping and it's not like a progress bar. Um, I just think it's just simpler. Like, the progress bar is a really good idea for things that are going to intentionally take like 5 minutes or plus. This is only going to be a few seconds. We don't need a progress bar for something that only takes a few seconds. We just need an indication that it is trying to do something. Done. Import waits now showed a loading bar in all 3 places in the app used to silently hang. Verified with real app screenshots. Passes the lint. What you'll see now, all styled to match the existing export progress bar, same label type, pill track. Oh, so it added it for export. Fable W. Reading files, small busy modal, preparing preview, importing end transactions. Since there's no row level progress for a single post, the bar is an intermediate sweep rather than a fake percentage. Correct. Both the sweep and the fade in animate on the compositor, so they keep moving even while synchronous parse work blocks the renderer. Cool. Let's relaunch and test just for our own, because we've got a big old thing. So expand that out. Let's just do that and blow this up. Make sure this is big for you guys so you can see it. Preferences, transactions. We're just going to delete all the transactions that we have. Cool. It's going to take a refresh. That is one that I needed to fix. Needs refresh on mass import or delete. Maybe add purposeful hang time. Because you could do that, like you just delete it all, do the loading bar, hang time, do a refresh. That'd be nice. Anywho, add transactions, import transactions, downloads, 10 years, select, looks good, continue, nice, import. I mean, yeah, well, that's not bad. It's not, it's like slightly aesthetically messy, but it's actually fine. It's not a big deal. Export KIF. Let's do a KIF. Nice. Great. Fantastic. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, we'll address that. Refresh needed as it doesn't automatically. I don't know why. But anyway, loading bar looks good. Yeah. This looks really nice. Yep, this looks good. Go here. It looks uncategorized to me. Oh, is it doing that one? Yeah, why? Okay, that's another bug. Okay. We'll figure that out. Yeah, because that's what it should look like. We'll see what the AI says. That's kind of a tough one, huh? It's kind of a weird one. Okay. Um, all right, yeah, let's go ahead and start. I think this is good. I think this is good. We'll just mark this as done. Let's commit this branch. Just gonna go to my repo and pull that real quick. Just waiting for the repo to update on GitHub's end. Okay. Merging. Okay. Go to main, refresh, sync. Cool. All right. Next task. Moving along. Um, yeah, I noticed that whenever I import or delete all the transactions in the app, the dashboard does not update unless I do a hard refresh. Would you investigate and figure out the best way to make sure, the best way is make sure that the dashboard is always up to date without needing a hard refresh or restart. Oh man. We're just on main right now. Yeah, we'll probably just push this as a fix for main. It doesn't need to be a branch. Hold up, folks. Getting a call from a family member.